before we start, a few questions are there. See. How do we relate to the clay pot example to Brahman and world? I think this is with reference to the last class. The clay and pot. The clay is equated to Brahman and pot equated to world. So in the equation, clay is the material cause. So if we say material cause, we understand certain things. There are a few things we understand here as that which makes a pot. Instrumental cause is different, or efficient cause, the pot maker, and the instrument is the wheel that he uses. The material that is used is clay. So now the problem we face is we are able to see pot. We are experiencing pot. Keeping the pot in hand, we are asking the question, where is clay? There is clay in the pot. That's what Arjuna is asking. 10th chapter is that. Krishna, I don't have any problem seeing the pot. Pot I know. The problem is, inside that pot, where am I to see the clay? Where is clay in the pot? Is what he is asking actually. So essentially what is the thing is, we are able to see the world, the creation we can see, but we are not able to see the creator. And one thing we cannot accept, intelligence cannot accept is, the creation has happened by itself. It's not possible. Nor can we say the creation is anadi. Suppose if you say creation is anadi, always there, then there is no possibility for you to get out of it. Liberation becomes an impossibility. Right? Always there. So samsara will always be there. The jiva will always be there. So where is liberation? Or else we will say, what is liberation? Then liberation is moving from, like I used to say, from a cage to the park. You know that we have here, Benargata National Park. You go there, you can see tiger there. So instead of a tiger being inside the cage, we take the tiger and put it in the national park. Every day, 12:30, a fellow will come and throw meat. All that this guy has to do is come, eat, go and sit. 4:30, tea. And then all that he has to do is simply keep sitting there. He doesn't even have to walk around to digest and all that. The tiger in the jungle is totally different. It's not the tiger. So we ask the question, tiger belongs to what? Does it belong to the cage or park or the jungle? is a reality. Same way, we cannot say world is always there. So therefore we come to conclusion, there must have been a creator. But the problem we face is, there is a creator. And always that idea of the creator will be the one who has the knowledge of creation. Correct. The pot maker has to have the knowledge of pot making much before the pot is being made. Correct. The pot in hand. Before making this pot in hand, the pot maker should be having the knowledge of pot making. So essentially the pot maker has to be of the nature of, should be carrying knowledge. He should be an intelligent being. Not intelligent in the sense like what we understand as intelligence. Okay. Oh, he's a very intelligent fellow, he's a dull fellow. Not in that sense I am saying. One with knowledge. That's called intelligent being. So we understand that. That much we are able to understand. So what is the scenario now? Scenario is, I am having the pot. We are seeing the world. But we are not able to understand, we will not be able to agree to the idea that it is always there. Pot came by itself. Suddenly pot came. Not possible. There has to be a pot maker making the pot. Same way there has to be a world maker making the world. But the problem is what? You cannot meet the world maker, unlike you can meet the pot maker. Who made this pot? If I ask you, you can show me. Oh, he's the man who made it. You can show. You can identify. But the world maker, where can you identify? You cannot. So, there is a world maker. The creator is far off from you. He is somewhere. He has to be somewhere. So, he is there. He has to be somewhere, which means he is far away from you. And his presence, his existence is not perceived, but inferred. Isn't it? Creator. What we are doing all right now is inferring, isn't it? Deriving. It's inference. So, creator is not perceived, the creator is inferred by us. That's why unless you have buddhi, you can't infer. So, an atheist we say has no buddhi. Why? Starting point of understanding God is what? In the attempt of understanding God, what is the first step? Inference. What is the stance of an atheist? In the first step, he says, show me God. The top gali. Empty. A fellow who has an empty head alone can be an atheist. It's impossible. Why? The starting point itself is what? I am seeing the pot. The pot maker is not perceived. Pot maker is inferred. Inference is the job of which equipment? Intellect, buddhi. The fellow says, Show me God. First you need to infer God. So, we are seeing the world and we also understand the world cannot come by itself. We also understand world cannot be existing always. Various reasons, I am just giving one reason, okay? Various reasons under which we come to conclusion that it is not always present. All that. Then we also come to an understanding that there has to be a world maker whom we call as a creator, to whom we have given the name God, and that God has to be of the nature of intelligent being. It cannot be an inert being, it has to be intelligent. And he has to be where, or she has to be, it has to be, we don't know what it is. Right? For the conversation purpose, I am using the word he. But we have no clue. Right? So we refer. The remote one we refer as he. So we understand he is somewhere, but he is remote. The understanding that I am going to have with reference to him is only inferred, not perceptual reality. If God is not going to be perceived, if I have to be inferred, and I will always infer that intelligent being with the form only, no? Isn't it? With the gender only you can. Even if you say it, which gender is that? Neuter gender. Some gender you have to associate. The moment you have associated a gender to it, you have created a form for it. No matter. Therefore, all religions have form. Remember, there is no possibility of anyone to conceive, because any conception means what? No. Isn't it? Space. God is very big. What is that? Big God means what? Wherever I am not able to see, I will imagine. When intellect is going to be inferring, the mind will start imagining. The imagination of the mind will be dependent on that mind. That's what Vivekananda says. If buffaloes were to imagine God, they will imagine God as what? Buffalo God. We have 2 horns, God will have 4 horns. That's all. It's so simple it is. We have 4 legs, he will have 8 legs. We have 2 hands, therefore we imagine God to be having 4 hands. Right? All gods will have 4 hands. No God you will fight with 2. Every one of them will have 4 hands. All imagination. Every imagination of yours, remember, is not possible without it. Have you seen this movie? One robot. That's the only robot which is existing on planet Earth. All beings dead. No more beings. Only robot is there. That robot. And what is his job? Entertainment. All the scraps that fellow will take and make a block. And with the blocks he will go on building things. And then he will go and stand in front of the sunlight. The battery will get charged. In the night he will go and sleep. One day, one alien ship comes by mistake. When the alien ship comes, in that there is advanced robot. What is that advanced robot? Till the time you will not know whether it is male or female. Suddenly you will realize that's a heroine. This fellow is a hero. And this hero falls in love with that truck. And then that takes off and goes. And this whole story. And then there's a villain. And there's a problem. And then these two unite. Even if you are making an animated movie, there has to be a male car, there has to be a male fellow, there has to be a female robo, and the male robo and female robo will love each other. There is a villain robo, there is a comedian robo. Mission. Even in a mission you need what? It's impossible. Why? Imagination is done. That animation was created by which mind? Human mind, no. When the human mind is making that movie, it is not possible for that movie to be made without humanness in it. It is not possible. Don't think. If you are believing something other than that, you are fooling yourself. It's impossible. Don't be so naive to believe in it. So when you are going to be imagining, what you are imagining, how you will be imagining. So your mind is going to be imagining, your intellect, buddhi is going to be inferring. So far okay, why? Pot. Now we are coming to clay and pot. Now pot to clay ke varum. Okay. And then we ask, Creator is extraordinary. Good. Now the problem comes. Now all philosophical problems will start. Up to that there is no problem. All this, theological problems solved. Now philosophy will start. The philosophical question we will be asking is, okay, now that God created this world, like that pot maker created the pot. Right. My problem is not just knowing whether this world maker is this. My question will be, can this world maker, creator, have the power to give me liberation? To grant me liberation from this world. Because why I do all this analysis? Essentially, the whole reasoning is starting for what? Not just like you and me having. As far as you and me are concerned, it is just the intellectual curiosity. That's not the point. For these people, that's not the issue. For them, the question is this. Then they will ask, okay, what is the actual form of that God? Okay, you are imagining. So one fellow says it is Shiva, another fellow says it is Vishnu. Another fellow says another God, another fellow says another God. Each one says one form. Which form is the real form of this? Okay. If God were to be sitting there and world is created by Him, what is the material that He has used to create this world? maker need a clay to make pot. Same way, the world maker needed a material for him to make the world. Which material he is going to use? You see the various questions. If you think, you'll get so many questions like this. I can go and meet that pot maker. Can I go and meet that God who created the world? Is it possible to meet him or not? No. Never. Never. No one. By me not be possible. Correct. I agree. Like if you people ask me, Ishwaran, can you play Wimbledon finals, tennis? Exhibition kuda mudiyadu. Forget about actual competitive. Exhibition is also not possible. It's not going to happen. Ishwaran cannot play. Correct. But what about Federer? He can play. No? Djokovic can play. Now, if one human being cannot play, another human being can do it. Now, we are not asking about one human being. We are asking about the entire humanity represented by one person. So, you mean to say no human being can ever see him? If someone claims, yes, I have met him, what is the proof? Selfie. Proof in it. The people claim, no, I've had breakfast with God. He saw my, new video release. And God told me, yeah, it was very nice. I think you should make more such videos and release. It's there in YouTube. I'm not joking. It's actually there. The fellow is claiming. Do you know the viewership? Breaking our head to explain what is God. The fellow coolly he says, I saw him. He was white in color. A dining table he is explaining. I was waiting, what was the menu? He says, God was actually sitting on a dining table. Dining table he describes. Food is not described. And God didn't offer him anything, it seems. Appreciated him, you're a very good man, you're doing a good job, go. Here, fellows. Proof. So many questions like this, you see. Now, when you are asking all these questions, what Vedanta says is, look here, man, unless you ask the fundamental question here, don't probe into all these things first. First, ask that question about creation. It's not yet completed. Don't jump in. In this, we understand what first thing he asked is this. With what material did he create the world? If you say, there is a material apart from God, then we are arguing in circle. What is the arguments there? There is a flaw. Fallacy. What is a fallacy? Even before the creation of the world, something existed apart from God. So there are two parallel existences. One is God, another one is the material. And then he mix matches the material, makes the world. Like pot maker, clay, existing independently. Similarly, the world maker and clay independent. Not possible. We can't agree to that. So therefore, what has to be the case? We need to understand God created the world using the material from himself. See? So God used himself, herself, itself as a material to make the world. If God is the material with which the world is made, then one of the biggest problems can be resolved. What is it? The product can never be separated from the cause, from the material. Correct? The product can never be away from the cause of it. Right? You cannot segregate clay out of pot. Clay one side, pot other side. You cannot put it like that. Wherever pot is, clay will be there. Clay is part and parcel of the pot. One. Now we go back to the basic one. We said, if God were to be the creator God needs to be inferred, cannot be perceived. Now we say, if product cannot be separated from the material, now do you need to be inferring the material or you can perceive the material? You are all with me? Zoom. We started by saying what? We started by saying God needs to be inferred, cannot be perceived. Now we are doing what? We need not infer God. Why? Wherever the product is, the material has to be there. Therefore, God need not be inferred, God can be perceived. Wherever there is ornament, gold will be there. Now, do you have to infer gold? Existence of gold? No. You don't have to infer the existence of gold. You say, hey, what you are seeing is gold. No, sir. Can't you see that? It's gold. It's gold. It's gold. That is the. So what you are asking, Vedanta says, you idiot. Keeping the pot in hand, you are asking, how am I to have the darshan of the clay? Arjuna, what are you asking? How am I to see the glory of the clay in the pot? No matter what, when you see the pot, clay is perceived. Only problem is what? You are not understanding that you are seeing the clay. So, God is not a problem of perception, God is a problem of your understanding. It's not that you are not seeing God. He's there right in front of you. Clay is right in front of you. The fact that you are holding the pot in hand and asking for a question, who made it? From where it came? What is this? The only difference between the pot example and here is the pot maker is different, the clay is different. That's why the Mundaka Upanishad says it's like a spider making a web. Material is what? Spider's own saliva. It's produced by itself. On its own it comes. Same way, the material is not something different from God. This world, the material cause for the world is God. So first step is God is not available for perception, he has to be inferred. With the inference, we process. Finally, we come to conclusion what? God is not to be inferred, he is available for perception. In fact, you are perceiving, but the problem is what? You are not understanding that you are seeing God. Whose mistake is it? Go and check a good ophthalmologist or go to Indulgence. Only two chances are something wrong here or something wrong here. We say it is not possible to be wrong here. Why? Material causes. How do you say God is the material cause? Go back. The reason. If God is not the material cause for the creation of the world, then we are putting creation before creation. Isn't it? Something existed. Even before creation of the world, something existed, which means that is the world. Only what? Form is different, name is different. Therefore, we say it is not possible to have two parallel eternity. Not possible. Therefore, the conclusion is this. Another example, pot. Beautiful example. One of the most powerful examples. I told you, there are two examples which are very, very powerful. Innocuous example, but highly potent. This pot, clay. Then you can add on examples to it. Ornaments, gold, you can add on. But standard one is this, clay and pot. Another one is rope and snake. These two. There is another question we have. This Pratipaksha Bhavana and developing opposite emotions. Apps. Apps alla enak theriyadu. I'm assuming, I don't know what is that. Apps, emotions are opposite emotions. This Pratipaksha Bhavana and developing opposite emotions in. What is this opposite emotions? Apps.
Pratipaksha Bhavana and developing APPS emotions the same.
Apps now. APPS means action.
Emotions through apps. They need to be some of that.
Careless act. Pratipaksha Bhavana we do. See, Pratipaksha Bhavana is looking at something from a different angle. That's all it is. Pratipaksha is only that. See it from a different angle. About what you see at a different angle is the area in which you got involved. Wherever you are totally involved, totally lost, look at it from another angle. What is another angle? Wherever you are seeing, how beautiful it is, how beautiful it is. Look at it from other side, it will look so ugly. You know that? Same person. Look at it from one angle, they look so beautiful. Look at them from the other angle, look ugly. No matter who they are. No matter what it is. From one angle it is so nice. From another angle, Pratipaksha Bhavana. What you understand from that is, it is a package. You are seeing it from this angle, therefore it looks so beautiful to you. That's all it is. You look at it from another angle, according to you, it will be bad. To you, it is correct. Like, fools learn through their own experience, wise from others. You heard that? Right? Let's look at it from another angle. What is the example given? Fire, you put your finger in fire. So, seeing my finger getting burnt, you understand what? Now, my question is, think carefully now. I am also a child, you are also a child. There are two kids there. And you are seeing a flame, fire. Something which is so bright and something which is dancing. What will you feel? You would like to go and touch it, no? Correct? I had that natural curiosity to touch. Am I correct, or are you so dumb? Looking at it, you are looking. Who's intelligent? Who's explorating? Who's correct? Which child you would like to have? Now you turn the whole thing. Hey, if you want to see that, what you should have done first? Take a stick and put it inside. Right? Take a stick and touch. You don't put your finger there. What you should do is take a stick and put. When the stick is getting burnt, if the stick itself is getting burnt, obviously that means what? If I put my finger also will get burnt. You know. Who is intelligent now? Correct, right? You will understand the effect of it. But what about the experience of burning? Can the stick know what it is? No clue. Only I know. What is the experience of burning? Only I know. You don't know anything about it. So, who is more knowledgeable now? I have two knowledges. One, I have the experience of what it is to get burnt. Two, I have the knowledge of this. I have two knowledges, you have one unit of knowledge. Who's superior? All of will get tempted. I think see, this is called Pratipaksha Bhavana. You can take anything under the sun. no matter what. Remember, Pratipaksha Bhavana is given as an exercise to us to question what we have taken for granted. That doesn't mean the statement is wrong. Don't say that immediately, oh, fools learn through their own experience, why for others, that's wrong. I'm not saying that. You see, the capacity to question it. What we have taken for granted, you question. And wherever you have taken for granted, you are getting involved. What is that aspect in life you take for granted? Something you got stuck with. So to pull you out of that, they have. You are so deluded by the world. So what is Pratipaksha Bhavana? Pratipaksha Bhavana is to see again and again the dosha in that. That's called Pratipaksha Bhavana. The defect. Why we are talking about the defect is because you are being totally involved in that field. So we are talking about defect. Suppose if you are going to be seeing all the time defect, then Pratipaksha Bhavana will be what? What is the glory of that? If you are seeing what is wrong all the time, then Pratipaksha Bhavana would be to see what is right. In life, you have two domains. One, the domain of your likes and the domain of your dislikes. In that area of likes, you look at it from another angle. In the area of your dislikes, you look at it from another angle. Thereby, your involvement with reference to likes and dislikes will be reduced. The intensity. See, the pace in which you are getting involved, that vega, what he calls in the Gita. See, you can put a speed breaker so that the speed in which you get involved will not happen. So for that, this is used. This Pratipaksha Bhavana. Developing absolutely. Because of you seeing something constantly. You are seeing only that one aspect again and again and again. I told you, dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangasteshu vachayate sangat sanjayate kama. How do you get involved? About something you go on repeating. That something can be good or bad, doesn't matter. Involvement will happen. You are lost in either case. You go on repeating. Oh, how nice, how nice, how nice, how nice, how nice. And invariably, that how nice will be your imagination, not a reality. That's why the excitement that you will have before vacation vis-a-vis during vacation. Like my dad was telling this. One day, my cousin was in UK. Suddenly one day morning the fellow dropped, came back. He didn't inform. My mother was, making the rangoli outside. Car stopped, the fellow came and stood, straight on that rangoli. She was making it, this guy came and stood on that. She got so annoyed. She is looking down and making it. Imagine one fellow comes and stands on that with shoe. Obviously, you get angry. With anger, she looked up, this fellow was standing. of excitement. And then all the excitement got over and all those things and all that, he timed it in such a way that all of us are there at home. Some occasion we just joined. There, he was also there. Dropped in. After all that, around 11:30, 12, slowly my father started. His style is that always. He will not talk during that time. After everything settles down, he will start slowly. See, I appreciate your thought of coming and giving us a surprise. But the surprise joy வந்து ஒரு 2-3 minutes தான். But if you would have told us about 2 weeks before, right? Every day, my mom, she would be repeating, "Oh, by next week he will be here. 5 more days, 4 more days, 3 more days." Adu besides, the joy you would have experienced for 10 days is totally different from you coming and standing surprise. Surprise is for what? 2 seconds. That's all. After that, nothing. What is that? Repeating. How beautiful, how beautiful, how beautiful. See, the joy, remember, in life is in anticipation, not in experience. Because that experience can never give the quantum, that intensity, that quality. The quality that you are expecting, the intensity that you are expecting can never be provided by the experience. Impossible. No matter what. It's in that anticipation. See, anticipation. After marriage, you see that fellow. 2 days later, marriage, you look at that fellow. Joy. Boy goes and proposes a girl. She says, okay. Oh, joy. Next day morning, when he wakes up, right? Previous night you will be giving party and this, that, and all that. Next day morning when he wakes up, where is the joy? But imagine that anticipation. He said, I will come back to you. Give me a week's time. Imagine that 1 week. How that would be? It's that anticipation. Anticipation is the joy of life, not in reality. That's why you go on repeating mentally. Mentally you go on repeating it again and again and again. When you go on repeating that again and again and again, you will get involved. So, to what extent you can do and not get involved in it. Not get lost in it. Getting lost in means what? Getting lost in something means you are not able to see anything other than that in life. That's the meaning of getting lost. Getting involved. Your getting involved means what? Getting involved means you can see only that. That one portion you can see. Nothing you can see beyond it. And you believe everything else can be settled once this is done. Everything is after this. That's called involvement. Why do you get involved like that? Because you keep looking at something good or bad. If it is good you are repeating, it will develop into a like. If you are bad that you are repeating, it will develop into a dislike. Simple. Pratipaksha Bhavana will do what? Will put a speed brake. It will not stop. Remember, stopping will not happen. But it will put a speed breaker in such a way that the pace in which you are cultivating Raga Dvesha, will not happen. Or if you have already cultivated Raga Dvesha, it can reduce the vigor of its manifestation. That's Pratipaksha Bhavana, a very powerful tool to be used.
So can we say environment is tamas?
Don't worry about qualities now. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, don't bring it now. Involvement, that's it. The Rajas, Tamas, not necessary.
So environment with objectivity
Not possible.
so for example, some project we do, we have to be really involved in what we say.
You are talking about commitment. I am talking about involvement. Totally different. They are two different opposite things.
Is that the level of intellectual growth?
Involvement is at the level of mind. Commitment is at the level of the intellect. It's commitment. Involvement is mind. Mind driving it. A committed person is different. And remember, wherever your survival activity you are engaged in, don't ever imagine that you are going to be committed there. Don't fool yourself. Impossible. That is called involvement. If taking classes, teaching Vedanta were to be connected to my survival, after that, commitment will not be there. Involvement only will be there. And the manifestation of commitment and involvement will look very similar. What is that? A committed person also will come. I feel little feverish. What to do? He will take paracetamol, come and take class and go and sleep. The rest of the day, what are you going to do? Sleep only, no? Go and sleep. There's no problem. A fellow who is involved in that work, who is connected to the survival activity, he will also do the same thing. What? Take paracetamol, go to office. That's why nowadays these people say that laser surgery they do for the eyes. Post surgery, at least you have to give rest to the eyes for at least about a week or 10 days. Ask the doctors, they say, we recommend 3 days only. One scratch you get, the surface of your skin takes about 1 week to cure. The kanla you are making, and you are saying in 3 days it will get rid. When the doctor told me, it will not happen, Ishvara, that will take 10 days. Then why are you saying 3 days? If I tell these people 10 days, nobody will come for surgery. Who is there? Who is going to take 10 days off from the job? Who will give work? 10 days I am going for eye surgery. Work from home you do. Not possible, sir. Therefore we tell them 3 days. What is that? He will also go to office. Why he is going to office? He is also committed. He is also present there. He will also present here. Manifestation will look very similar. Don't get fooled by the manifestation. Commitment is different. Involvement is different. Involvement is mind. And there is no such thing as In some areas I am getting involved, some areas I am not getting involved. அதெல்லாம் கிடையாது. If you say some areas I am getting involved, some areas I am not getting involved, what you are referring to is some areas I have a strong desire, some areas I don't have a desire. That's all it is. That is not objectivity. Only an objective person can afford to be committed. And objectivity is your internal strength. It doesn't matter where you are, which field you are. It's like I say, in the gym, if I am able to lift 50 kg, then a cylinder in the house also I should be able to lift. And that fellow says, sir, dumbbells kudunga I can lift. Cylinder I cannot lift. Which means what? Kettlebell is possible, sir. Cylinder I can't lift. I have a back pain, I have a shoulder pain, I have this. But in the gym I do workout every day for 1.5 hours. The fellow is lying. Why? If you have the strength to lift, no matter what shape that object is, you should be able to lift. That is called strength. Same way, objectivity, commitment is your internal strength. It cannot be fluctuating with reference to the field. Here I am, there I am not. Impossible. If there is fluctuation, please understand it is not that, something else. What is that? Involvement, indifference. The areas where you are indifferent, you are believing yourself to be objective. It doesn't make a difference. See, wherever you make that statement, it doesn't make a difference. When it is not making a difference, what are you doing? You see that? If it is going to make a difference, then I do something. That is called involvement. When it is not making any difference, I don't do anything. Indifference. It doesn't make any difference. I continue to work, slog in the same. So, involvement means commitment, involvement, indifference. Rajas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Commitment, Sattva. Involvement, Rajas. Indifference, Tamas. From a philosophical angle, what is indulgence? Any angle, indulgence. Does it make a difference? A philosophical angle. What is indulgence? How do I come to know if I am indulging in something? How? What is this? Is indulgence, and how do I get to know? See, indulgence. So, what is indulgence? How do I come to know if I am indulging in something? Indulgence means any contact doesn't make it indulgence. Right? You are not capable of resisting the contact. then you are indulging. See? So indulgence is any gratification of a desire cannot be called as indulgence. I have a desire to have ice cream, I eat ice cream. You can't say he is indulging in ice cream. You can say he is having a desire for ice cream, he is eating ice cream. But when it becomes indulgence is when I am not able to resist the gratification. Only then it can be called as indulgence. So two things are there in it. One is the actual act, actual contact. Another one is incapacitation in me to resist it. When the temptation comes, when the desire pops up, I am not able to resist it. Why I am not able to resist it? Because that which is supposed to be resisting that is not strong enough to resist, which is the intellect. Right. Now, what is that in intellect which will make it have the power? So then you should go back to the basics of intellect. Always remember, the basic ideas about these concepts are very important. What is intellect here? Don't say discriminative capacity. In this context, you can't use that definition. Intellect is the capacity to understand this is different from that. It's not what is referred. Analytical ability. Analytical ability is not to be referred as intellect in this context. In this context, we understand intellect from another angle. That is, intellect is that which has the capacity to see the end in the beginning. That's intellect. Which is what in the Gita he calls as Yaha Pashyati, Saha Pashyati. Whoever sees it, sees it. What is it? Whoever sees it means what? What is it that he is seeing? He is seeing the end in the beginning. This act of me having this ice cream, the act of the child constantly sitting and watching TV, where it will lead, the mother understands. Therefore, the mother is resisting the child. And the child thinks what? The mother is intruding into my freedom. Isn't it? The child will think the mother is putting restrictions to my life. She says what? I have to do this. Why she says that? Because she is able to see where this will lead. Not after it has led there. You see? I met my one of my cousin there, so even now he says, "Cha, படின்னு சொன்னாங்க, படிக்கல." That age, that 18 to 26, is the critical age period during which you have to commit for learning. Not that you should not learn after that. What that is set during this period, that 18 to 26, what you have learned is what is going to be taking rest of your life. If that's time this fellow is sitting and watching TV, wasting time, what will the mother do? Or what will the father do? Give a whack to that fellow. Says, what nonsense you are doing, you belt him. And it's so cruel. It will appear like that. But then, we understand what? There is something which is recognized, understood by the parent, which is not recognized by the child. What is that? He can see the end of this. That is called intellect. That is why we say intellect is the parent in you, the child in you is the mind. What does the intellect says? Intellect has the capacity to see the end in the beginning. With that, your intellect will be able to put that resistance. Look here, this indulgence of yours is going to be, if your intellect is not doing this, your own mind can pull you out of indulgence. But where will you land? You land in denial. You see that? So what is opposite of indulgence? Denial. Self-denial. So either you are in the extremity of self-denial or you are in the extremity of indulgence. Intellect is that which teaches you to avoid both. That's called middle path. There is no such thing called actual middle path. Don't think actually there is a middle point. Avoiding these two extremes is called middle path, that's all. I don't deny nor indulge. Indulgence is irresistibly I go on. Every time that desire surfaces, I have no choice but to contact. That's indulgence. Denial is what? Desire surfaces. I don't allow contact. That's called denial. So what is indulgence? What is denial? Desire wise nothing is happening. Both are happening at the level of what? That's why I said there are two things. One is the contact, another one is resistance. There are two things in that. So both the cases you are dealing only at the level of the contact. One, you are sanctioning it. You are simply going along with it. Another one is you are denying the contact. So when we say self-denial, what are you denying? You are denying the contact, that's all. What Vedanta says is, the problem has got nothing to do with sanctioning the contact or denying, because the problem is not at the level of contact, the problem is at the level of the desire. Deal here, forget there. We are forgetting this part of it, we are going on working at the level of this. Won't help you. That's why it's not helping to many people. Why? Even though there is so much of spiritual effort that we are putting in, we are not able to see the growth, development in humanity. Why we are not seeing it is because the effort is put on the wrong side. The stress is on the wrong accent. The word is mispronounced. It can mean something else actually. The stress is on the wrong syllable. What is it? Contact is not the point. You are contacting or not contacting is not the point. Yogarato va bhogarato va sangarato va sangavihina yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati eva. When they say 3 times, that means what? You have to go on saying Nandati, 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 Eva. That Eva is very important. It's got absolutely nothing to do with all this. But the effort has been put, if at all there is an effort, what we are doing is from indulgence, we switch over to denial. Don't do that mistake. How do I come to know if I'm indulging in something? How do you come to know? Wherever you are repeating something without recognizing the end, where it is going to lead you later. The family shifts to US. I'm just giving example. Okay, actual case. There is nothing wrong with the country. Right? This fellow shifted there, and he got his green card, and then he got his citizenship. This is one all those things he got there, and now he is fully settled. And the child is born there, child is studied there, is brought up, everything. Now the fellow wants to get his son married. And he is calling. He is saying, hey, நல்ல பையனா பாரு. நல்ல பையனா பாரு. I said, hey, உனக்கு பையன் தானடா இருக்கான். You have a son. And the fellow saying, look for a good boy. Hey, you should say, look for a good girl. He says, no. Look for a good boy. I said, தெரிலடா எனக்கு. And the fellow's crying. Oh, made a mistake. This he should have understood when? 25 years back. 25 years back when he is taking a stand that I will go there and settle down. You should anticipate. You don't see that. Where that decision is going to take him. Right? Now crying. That is lack of intellect. Anywhere you are not understanding where this is going to lead me to, continuing. That is called indulgence. See, don't think it is to do with repetition, because otherwise you will say, oh, suppose if I have everyday roti, you are indulging in roti. You should understand where it is going to lead. There are people, by over-exercising, they die. You know that? Over-exercising, exhaustion, die. Which means what? Of course, when they are exercising, when they are doing all that, it looks like what? Oh my God, so disciplined, so nice. Look at the structure, what a shape, man. V shape. I am also having a V shape, only thing is ulta. இப்படி இருக்கு. V இப்படி இருக்கும். இப்படி போச்சு. What a shape. It is all that. And finally, what is where it is going to land? No matter, you can indulge even in a discipline. Remember, you can indulge in your disciplines also. What does it mean? Anywhere you repeat something, go on and doing again and again and again, without understanding where it is going to lead you to, you are indulging. Easiest way to identify. Anything. If you look at your life, 90% of it will fall in this category. I have no idea where it is, what is going to happen after that. 5 years down the line, what is going to happen? Do you have any clue of what you are doing? Assuming that you are continuing, right? Don't tell me, sir, Nalini, Dharagata, Jalamati, Taralam and all that. Any time can happen. As I am giving the lecture, I can drop dead. Possible, no? Then you can also die. Therefore, that's not what we are talking about. That's a fact we keep in the background. That's all. But for reasoning purpose, we don't take it like that. We say what? Whatever you are doing right now, imagine that you are continuing this for another 5 years, 10 years, you are continuing. Where you think it is going to land you? That capacity to see the end in the beginning is called intellect. When your intellect is weak, there are only two chances are there. Either you are denying or indulging. So we say what? Do you have a strong intellect? Yes or no? No, sir. That means what? No matter what you are doing, only two chances are there. Either you are indulging or you are denying. Simple. How do I know the strength of my intellect, sir? Here, don't talk about analytical ability and all that. Your discerning ability, no, that's not the definition here. The definition of intellect in this context will be to see the end in the beginning. That perceptive capacity is called intellect. Few more that we'll see in the next class.